everyone, my name is Camille Sosa from BSIT 2105. For today's video, I'm going to summarize the topics in Chapter 1. So if you're interested in this video, please keep on watching. Evolutions of the network. The IOE is bringing together people, process data, things to make the network connections more relevant and valuable. It is turning information into actions that create new capabilities, richer experiences, and unprecedented economic opportunities for individuals, businesses, and countries. So, as the technology evolves, the networks also innovate. ITs are aiming for innovations, a more faster and more reliable, more complex internet works. So, one is the networks of many sizes. Networks comes in all sizes shown in this figure. They can range from simply networks consisting of two computers to network connecting millions of devices. Simple networks installed in homes enable sharing of resources such as printers, documents, pictures, and music between a few local computers' home. Networks are also used to connect several devices to the internet. Communication over a network is usually more efficient and less expensive than the traditional forms of communication such as regular mail or long-distance phone calls. In business and large organizations, networks can be used on over broader scale to allow employees to provide consolidation storage, access to information, and network servers. Networks also allow rapid communication as email, instant messaging, and collaboration among employees. The Internet is the largest network in existence. In fact, term Internet means network of networks. The Internet is literally a collection of interconnected private and public networks, such as the ones described previously. Business, small office networks, or even home networks usually provide shared connection to the Internet. The Internet connects hundreds of millions of computers worldwide. First topic is the clients and servers. The servers are hosts that have a software installed that enable them to provide information like email or web pages to other hosts and networks. Each service requires separate servers. For example, host requires web server software to provide web services to the network. Another one is the clients. The clients are computer hosts that have software installed, enable them to request and display the information obtained from the server. An example of client software is web browser like Windows Internet Explorer. Access web pages that are stored web server. A computer with a server software can provide services simultaneously to one of the many clients. Peer-to-peer. A peer-to-peer is a client and server software usually runs on separate computers, but it's also possible for one computer to carry out both roles at the same time. In small businesses and homes, many computers function as the servers and clients on the network. This type of network is called the peer-to-peer network and illustrated in this video. It says that the advantages of peer-to-peer is easy to set up, less complexity, lower cost since network advices, dedicated servers may not required, can be used for simple tasks such as transferring files and printers. The disadvantages of peer-to-peer network is no centralized administration, not as secure, not scalable. All devices may act at both clients and servers, which shows on the program. The simplest peer-to-peer network consists of two directly connected computers using wired or wireless connection. So, components of a network. Um, the network infrastructures contains three categories of network components. These are devices, medias, and services. The paths that a message takes from source to destination can be simple as a single cable connecting one computer to another or a complex network that literally spans the globe. This network infrastructure is the platform that supports the network. It provides the stable and reliable channel over which communication can occur. Um, in this figure, um, devices and media are the physical elements or hardware of the network. Hardware is often the visible components of the network platform such as laptop, PC, switch, routers, wireless access point, or the cabling used to connect the devices. Occasionally, some components might not be so visible. In the case of wireless media, messages transmitted using visible radio frequency or infrared waves without requiring any physical connecting the media. Network components are used to provide services and process. These are the communication program called software, the run of the network devices. A network services provides information response to requests. Services includes many of the common network applications people use every day, like email, hosting services, web hosting services. Um, Next topic is the end devices. The network devices that people are most familiar with are called the end devices or host. These devices form the interface between users of the underlying communication network. Some examples of end devices are computers, network printers, VoIP phones, telepresence endpoints, security cameras, mobile handled devices such as smartphones, tablets, PDAs, wireless credit card readers, and barcode scanners. A host devices is either the source of destinations of messages transmitted over the network. The distinguished one host from another. Each host on the network is identified by the address. When a host initiates communication, it uses the address of the destination host to specify where the messages should be sent. Data originates with an end devices, flows through the network. Arrives and end devices messaging can take alternate routes through the network between devices. So, components of a network. Um, the network infrastructures contains three categories of network components. These are devices, medias, and services. The paths that a message takes from source to destination can be simple as a single cable connecting one computer to another or a complex network that literally spans the globe. This network infrastructure is the platform that supports the network. It provides the stable and reliable channel over which communication can occur. In this figure, devices and media are the physical elements or hardware of the network. Hardware is often the visible components of the network platform such as laptop, PC, switch, routers, wireless access point, or the cabling used to connect the devices. Occasionally, some components might not be so visible. In the case of wireless media, messages transmitted using visible radio frequency or infrared waves without requiring any physical connecting the media. Network components are used to provide services and process. These are the communication program called software, the run of the network devices. A network services provides information response to requests. Services includes many of the common network applications people use every day, like email, hosting services, web hosting services. The signal encoding that must occur for the messages to be transmitted is different from each medium type. On metallic wires, the data is encoded into electrical impulses that match the specific patterns, while the fiber optic transmission rely on pulses of light within either infrared or visible light ranges. In wireless transmission, patterns of electromagnetic waves depict the various bit values. Different types of network media have different features and benefits. Not all network media have the same characteristics are appropriate for the same purposes. Network representations. When conveying complex information such as displaying all the devices and media in a large internetwork, it is helpful to use visual representations. A diagram provides an easy way to understand the way the devices or large network are connected, such as diagram uses symbols to represent different devices connections that make up a network. This type of picture of network is known as topology. Topology diagrams. Network topology diagrams as shown are mandatory to anyone working with the network to provide the visual map of how the network is connected. The two types of topology diagrams are the physical topology and the logical topology. The physical topology identify the physical location of the intermediary devices, configure ports, and cable installation, while the logical topology diagrams identify devices, ports, and IP addressing scheme. The LAN or the local area networks. Local area networks are networks infrastructure that spans a small geographical area. Specific features of LANs includes LANs interconnect and devices in limited areas such as homes, schools, office buildings, or campuses. LAN is usually administered by single administrations or individuals. The administrative control that governs the security and access control policies are enforced on the network level. LANs provide high-speed bandwidth to internal and devices, intermediary devices. So, the WAN or the Wide Area Network. Wide Area Networks are networks infrastructure that spans a wide geographical area. WANs are typically managed by service providers or internet services. The specific features of WAN includes WAN interconnect LANs over wide geographical areas such as between cities, states, provinces, countries, or continents. WANs are usually administered by the simple service provider. WANs typically provides lower speed links between LANs. There are two other terms that are similar to the term internet, the intranet and the extranet. Intranet is term often used to refer to a private connections of LANs and WANs. Extranet, organizations can use extranet to provide secure, safe access to individuals who work for a different organization but requires companies' data. Cable typically offered the cable television service providers. The internet data signals carried on the same coaxial cable that delivers cable televisions. DSL provides a high bandwidth, always on connecting to the internet. It requires special high-speed modem that separates the DSL signals from the telephone signals. The cellular internet access uses a cell phone network to connect wherever you can get a cellular signal. You can get cellular internet access. Satellite services is a good option of homes or offices that do not have access to DSL or cable. Satellite dishes requires a clear line of sight of the satellite, so service might be difficult to heavily wooded areas or places with other overhead obstructions. Dial-up telephone, an inexpensive option that uses any phone line and a modem. To connect to the ISP, a user calls ISP access phone number. That's all. Fault tolerance in circuit switch networks. With our reliance on networks, certain precautions must be taken to ensure that this networks function designed even if things go wrong. The expectations is that the internet is always available to the millions of users who rely on it. Scalable networks. Not only must a network be fault tolerant, but it also may be able to grow to accommodate new users' services. Thousands of new users and services providers connect to the internet each week. For the internet to support rapid amount of growth, it must be scalable. Scalable network can expand quickly to support new users applicants without impacting in performance and service being delivered to existing users. Providing quality. A new internet application and services are added. It becomes increasingly apparent that some mechanism requires handles different types of traffic in compared. Quality of service is an ever-increasing requirement of network today. New applications available to users interwork such as voice, live video transmissions, and create higher expectations for the quality of delivered service. The BYOD or the Bring Your Own Devices is about end users having the freedom to use personal tools, access information, and communicate across a business or campus's network. With the growth of consumers' device and the related drop in costs, employees and students can be expected to have some of the most advanced computing network tools for personal use. The online collaborations. Individuals want to connect to the network not only for access to data applications but also collaborate with one another. Collaboration is defined as the act of working with another or other as joint project. Video communications. Other trend in networking that is critical in communications and collaborations effort is video. Video is being used to communications, collaboration, and entertainment. Video calls are becoming more popular, facilitating communications for some. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is the use of computing resources, hardware, and software that are delivered as a service over a network. A company uses the hardware and software in the cloud and service fee is charged. Local computers no longer have to do all the heavy lifting when it comes to running network application. The network of computers that make up the cloud handles them instead. Data centers. Data center can occupy one room of a building, one or more floors, or an entire building. Modern data centers make use of cloud computing and virtualization to efficiently handle large data and transactions. Security threats. Network security is an integral part of computer networking. Regardless of whether the network is limited at home environment with a single connections to the internet as a large of corporations with 1,000 users. The network security implemented must take an account to the environment as well as the tools requirements of the network. It must be able to secure the data while still providing the quality of service that's expected to the network.